What is up, guys? Del Boy here. So, Agit Kabayel defeats Dereck Chisora by a majority decision to retain his European heavyweight title in a minor upset. I wasn't really doing too much research into this fight beforehand in terms of Kabayel. I've seen a little bit of him on YouTube, and from what I gathered, he was a guy who was quite high volume, liked to keep it long, best on the back foot. But I wasn't really sure whether he could whether he'd have enough against Dereck Chisora, and he had enough. He boxed really well, and credit to a few people who actually said that Kabayel is worth a bet. A few people out there said that Kabayel had a chance, and credit to those people. To be quite honest, to me, Kabayel was a deserved winner. I felt the scorecard that had it a draw was a little bit off. I felt the fight was close, but to be quite honest, there's no way Chisora won it, and I think a draw is being extremely kind. Extremely kind. I felt Kabayel boxed a good fight. He started well on the back foot, popping the jab, using that right hand when he could. He wasn't sort of stepping down on his punches. He was kind of arm punching, but he was finding the target. The jab was consistently finding the target. Dereck doesn't have that same sort of bob and weave that he once had, and he was catching a lot of jabs in his face, and they were point scoring shots. And as I said, Kabayel was landing the right hand as well behind it. Also, the right uppercut occasionally was landing. Kabayel was being a busier man, and he always looked relatively comfortable. I think it was the third round. It looked like he kind of got rocked by I think it was a right hand, but maybe that was a balance issue. And apart from that, he was never really in any trouble. There were rounds where Chisora won based on work rate and based on aggression, but as I said, I never really felt that Kabayel looked uncomfortable. Dereck never really made him feel the pace, you know what I mean? He never really put it on him, per se. And Dereck was really flat. Really flat. Didn't go to the body enough. Didn't let his hands go until way too late. And he got comprehensively outboxed as far as I'm concerned. Especially in the first half of the fight. In the second half of the fight, he did start to do a little bit more work. He was landing a few more shots, clubbing body shots, some cuffing right hands over the top. But again, even in the second half of the fight, Kabayel was still winning rounds based on his activity, based on the jab, based on his movement, And he even caught Dereck with a few good shots and borderline kind of buzzed him a bit. Not like really badly hurt him, but he stopped Dereck in his tracks a few times with those right hands. I was relatively impressed with the performance from Agit Kabayel, and in the last round both guys went at it, both guys let their hands go, and theoretically you would think, based on Kabayel boxing for 11 rounds, that would suit Chisora. But even in the round where Kabayel decided to slug, I felt he got the better of it. Chisora was landing some good shots, some right hands and a nice left hook, some body shots, but Kabayel was landing some lovely right hands in between that, and his shots looked more hurtful, to be quite honest. I felt Kabayel clearly won this fight, and he did a good job. So Kabayel is a new name now in the heavyweight division. How far he goes, I'm not sure, but he's definitely a European level heavyweight, as we saw tonight. Where does he go? I mean, why not Kabayel versus Dillian Whyte? If Dillian Whyte can't get a Wilder fight, Dillian Whyte needs to stay active. Would you watch Dillian Whyte versus Agit Kabayel for the European title? I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't complain about it. I would rather see Dillian Whyte in with a higher level guy, but Kabayel's no mug. He's a good fighter, and arguably, he did beat Chisora in a clearer fashion. So Kabayel versus Dillian Whyte, it's not a bad fight at all. He's going to get some offers, I'm sure. I'd like to see him in the ring again very soon. As for Chisora, he's had a tough career. He's fought Vitaly Klitschko, he's fought Tyson Fury twice, he's fought David Haye, he's fought Dillian Whyte, Robert Helenius. Malik Scott. He's fought a lot of heavyweights, and he's been in some tough fights. He's taken some beatings, and to be quite frank, he looked fairly past his sell-by date tonight. He looked really shop-worn, and he could never really pull the trigger. He could never really get in his rhythm. He's lost that bob and weave that he once had. Doesn't seem to carry the same stamina or the same intensity. Am I saying Dereck should retire? If he doesn't want to, he shouldn't retire, but I can't see him having any more success above British level right now. I just can't see it anymore. If Dereck wants to stay at British level, fight guys like Sam Sexton or Gary Cornish, guys like that, then maybe he can go on for another couple of years, but I just can't see Dereck ever getting above British level ever again. I just can't see it based on that performance. Really flat, just wasn't the Dereck of a few years back. But yeah, Kabayel performed very well, and he'll look for the bigger test now, and it'll be interesting to see where he goes. I was relatively impressed. I felt he boxed well, and for him boxing like that was kind of it kind of showed me what Hughie Fury should have done against Joseph Parker. Yes, Kabayel was moving a lot, but he was using that right hand a lot more. He was more active with the jab. The jab was more accurate, and it goes to show you can win rounds on the back foot in the heavyweight division. You just need to be a little bit more assertive, and I think that's the difference between Hughie Fury and Agit Kabayel. I know Joseph Parker was a better fighter, a better opponent, but in terms of their approach, I think Kabayel showed you how you outbox somebody in the heavyweight division. You got to be more active. You still got to fight. You still got to stand your ground at times, and he done a good job. I was relatively impressed. What do you guys think? Peace.